Hello everyone, myself Dinesh and these are my teammates, Avid, Kritik and Vishwas. And today we are discussing on a topic called chassis. It comes under mechanical concept and we are trying to explain detailed types of chassis and further video will be continued.
Good morning, my name is Yashas. So we are talking about today the types of classes. So let's see the oldest type of classes, that's ladder frame classes. So ladder frame classes consists of two steel beams which are very rigid and it has more durability. So this ladder type classes has been unique and oldest like in from 20th century in automobile industry. So this chassis really consists of three wheels and it is also known as the side members, and there are cross members which is attached to this type of chassis. So this chassis, let's see about the materials used for this type of chassis. So basically the side rails are from the cold rolled and hot rolled rice, and these materials are very rigid and they are very durable. Uh, so this type of stuff is mainly used in heavy load vehicles. It can bear the static loads or very good and heavy duty vehicles. They are also used in hauling basically. So the cross members are with the material called ASM 710 and now which is an highly strength enzyme. Which can bear any static loads or dynamic loads and also the torque rigidity. The torsional rigidity ranges from 5,000 to 8,000 Newton meter per day.
Hello guys, I am Abhi Kumar. Let's talk about the assembled mounted ladder frame. So first, initially the engine is mounted on a longitudinal frame, longitudinal direction. So after the engine, the transmission has been connected to the engine coil, and the transmission output shaft are connected to the propeller shaft. So propeller shaft are connected on the they have two propeller shaft and middle we have a universal shaft which are connected to the cross members. And the final time we have connected it is connected to the differentials, and it is connected to the differentials are connected mounted to the suspension systems which are connected which are the suspensions are connected to the side members of the frame, and the front mounted suspension front mounted suspensions are connected to the side frame which are the rotational suspension system. Speaking about the advantages of an ladder frame, so first we have a better ground clearance compared to other frames, and we have an also since it's a longitudinal frame, so the longitudinal sitting capacity will be more. It has a highest increased load capacity compared to other frame, and easy to maintain and better torsion and compression compared to other frame. So since it is a longitudinal frame, it's a radial drive, so we can say that it produce more power. So if the result will be more power loss, so the fuel economy will be reduced, and there will be more weight. So it has a fuel and bending load and compared to other frames.
Hello everyone guys, myself Ganesh from 6M Automobile. So today we are taking a indigenous chassis by TVS. It's a old one, single cradle frame, and it's used in all low-end bikes. This frame uses a high-strength steel for the material, and this is the monoblock tube, creating a solid structure for the engine member and connected to the handlebar, and then splits up to the cradle which supports the auxiliary brake system.
Hello guys, I'm Ritik. So today I'm talking about the single thread chassis, bike chassis. So in this chassis, engine and the swing arm are separately separated. It is not connected to the chassis, and front spokes and suspension is separate from the single threaded chassis. So, engine is mounted to the lower part of the chassis, and the swing arm is connected to the chassis, which is connected to the engine. Both the suspension as connected to chassis and the swing arm. Advantages is it is lightweight and mostly used in all commercial bikes. Disadvantages is it can easily break between the lower part of the chassis because of the stress between the engine and the front wheel, so that it can track between over here.
Hello guys, today we have a very special type of chassis called as space frame. So basically used in a racing type of vehicles in which load distribution and high strength capacity of handling is required, and these have an interconnected rectangular tubes for more strength and durability for better performance. Yeah, if we compare for the regular monocoque chassis, where the body sheets bear the load of the total car, but in case of space frame, the whole frame withstands the total load of the car, in which body panels act like a aerodynamic shape, which provides a better aerodynamic force, which provides better efficiency for the vehicle in high speed racing. Typically, these frames are not suggested to road going vehicles because it has less crumple zones and can damage passengers. For passenger safety reasons, it's not advisable to implement these frames on road going vehicles, but it gives better handling and ride quality in sports editions, and the real life examples are the SAE vehicles which participate in the Indian SAE competitions, and also other KTM Xbox and Baja vehicles used in USA's implement these frames for better racing abilities. Good morning, everyone, guys. Myself Ganesh. Today we will be discussing on the most commonly used monocoque body. Basically, the monocoque is a French term derived from French island. So, mono means single, coque means shell. So, combining the whole word gives the unique name as monocoque. That means a single shell. So, if we compare some statistics based on body on frame, it has several advantages like it has more crumple zones and lighter in weight and has a better weight distribution compared to body on frame chassis. And the main reason to adopt in most of the sedan cars is that the manufacturability and the production rate is faster compared to body on frame. And basically, the assembly lines, assembling components on this type of frames are lesser compared to body on frame. And coming to its advantages, no, its CG is low, and also it has better crumple zones at the front and the rear side, and it's better at handling with more. This monocoque chassis has a heavier subframes on front and the rear to support the chassis mounts, to support the steering system, the suspension, and the wheels to the subframes. It carries the hard points in which the suspension and wheels can be fitted and assembled, and separately it has a firewall through which if any accidents occur, it prevents entering to the cabin, and also it has a engine cradle system in which engine can be mounted. It has separate cradle mounts in which engine can be mounted longitudinally or vertically. Now, longitudinally or laterally to accommodate its specific engine size. Therefore, now coming to its parts, we have the front compulsor or the front bumper, and we have the aprons, and we have the fender flares. Coming to the inside of the structure, it comes the engine cradle assembly, and these are the suspension strut mounts assembly, and thereby going away from it comes the firewall, and here you can see the A pillar, the B pillar, and the last is C pillar. And this part is the rear quarter panel, and we have the rear fender flares, and the rear trunk. We have the rear fender flares, and we have the side skirts running from the rear fenders to the front fenders. And the main part of the side frame are the here we can have the bash beams which protect the side crumple in which side accidents may happen. And this observed most of the shocks from the impact from the other car and prevent the passengers without deflecting. And so we have the smooth roof over the top in which it helps in reducing the drag. So guys, when we come to the materials of this monocoque chassis, usually they use high strength steel or aluminum alloys. Even they mix some titanium alloys to increase the strength. And advanced automation is done by welding the hard points, and they use MIG or TIG welding so that the bonds keep stronger. And if we come to its due to its low ground clearance, it's difficult to maneuver a monocoque chassis vehicle on off-roading. And its other main disadvantage is in it comes in serviceability. Like like other body and frames, we can jack the vehicle at any part of the chassis. But monocoque has some hard points where it's mounted, and the jacks should be mounted on those specified hard points. If improperly matched and jacked, the bottom rails can lead to bending and thereby damaging the whole body. So some other advantages of this body has better safety, and the other disadvantage of this monocoque has is that more pivot loads can't be applied to this chassis because it leads to floor bending and also the pillars bending. And the other thing is replacing the main components such as suspension, the engine cradle system takes a longer procedure. So in case to modify some beams in it, so this leads to complicated procedure. So yeah, guys. In conclusion, we can decide that this body has better benefits in city driving and highway cruising. Okay, guys. In final verdict or conclusion, we can say that this chassis is suitable for city driving and highway cruising with light load accommodations, but it's difficult to carry heavy loads and go on a rough terrain that leads to bending and fatigue in its own frame. In final, we can say that this chassis can be used in sedans and hatchbacks and also in crossovers, but not suitable for off-roading types like pickup trucks and jeeps. And it's more economical in production. Thereby, a lot of the companies used in the production vehicles and also in some sports and also in sports cars in which they use in future. Researchers are implementing carbon fiber materials so that it can be used in hypercar technology, and it has a very futuristic technology in which it can carry out its pathway in automobile industry.